So now that the PlayStation 5 is here and the PlayStation 4 is starting to phase out, and you, the intrepid collector, are thinking, you know what? Now's a good time to buy all these PS4 games because everyone's after the PS5. What's going on, everyone? I am Jay, the channel of Square Pegs. Today we are doing a bit of a different series. You guys really seem to dig my eShop games for under 25 bucks, so we're doing something a little bit like that. But rather than these being hidden gems, I am doing a foundational series. Games that you should have in your library for a particular console if you are just starting to collect. Today we're looking at the PS4. Let's look at 5 foundational games that you need to add to your PS4 library if you are just starting to build it out.
SpiderMan, the Game of the Year edition, is quite possibly my favorite PlayStation game. Now, there's a lot to this. The one you're seeing, obviously, this is the Steelbook. This isn't the actual Game of the Year edition. I bought the Collector's Edition when it launched. I wanted to make sure I had the big statue and all the books and everything like that, but I knew I was going to want to play this game just because it's Insomniac. I love them. They're one of my favorite developers, and seeing them take on one of my favorite heroes was huge. I'm suggesting the Game of the Year edition specifically because brand new, it's like $25 at the most. It usually hovers around 22, 23 bucks, and it gives you all the DLC and all the costumes that you can possibly want. Complete in box, you're looking at about 17 bucks. The gameplay in this game is magnificent. I have found myself for hours just swinging around New York, kind of lost in thought. It's relaxing. You really get into playing as Peter Parker, playing as Spidey. And the game is beautiful to behold and just so much fun to play and has such an earnest heart to it and a tearjerker of a story. Like, this is the most Spider-Man story you're ever going to hear. It's perfect. This is probably my favorite PlayStation game, and to be able to get this honestly complete in box for under $20 to me kind of feels like highway robbery, and I think you should pick it up. This is 100% something to build a foundation of a collection on, and Spider-Man is a must-have for the PS4. A game that I truly adore is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Now, you guys know how much I love the Uncharted series, and it would be real easy for me to say you need to pick up the Nathan Drake collection, you need to pick up Uncharted 4, and sure, both of those games are great, and both of them are going to offer you hours upon hours of gameplay to enjoy, but I am suggesting Uncharted: The Lost Legacy for one specific reason. It is the most streamlined experience you will ever have playing Uncharted. Brand new, this game is $14. You can pick this up typically for about $10 complete in box used, and it is wonderful to play. You get to play as both Chloe and Nadine from the previous Uncharted games. The scenery is fantastic, and the game just moves at a perfect cadence. Everything flows into one another, and nothing feels like there's bloat here. Everything just works. The game is gorgeous to look at. The plot is fantastic with a great story to follow along with, and you get some real good depth on both Chloe and Nadine. This is a wonderful game. I absolutely love it, and I definitely think this is worth picking up and adding to your PlayStation collection, and it is a great foundation to build from. You may want to play the other Uncharted games first. Sure, I can understand that. But if you have played those Uncharted games or you just don't really worry about the storyline, this is a great place to start. All right, so straight up brand new, Final Fantasy VII Remake is not something you're going to get for under 25 bucks, but as a used game, you can score it for under 25 without question. Now, this game I'm putting on the list because it did the impossible. It made me care about Final Fantasy VII. Now, I played it when it first came out, and like many, I kind of fell in love with it, but after I had played it, I went back and played Final Fantasy VI, and I realized how much more I liked that one and how much more I enjoyed the characters, and then 8 came out, and 9, and subsequent Final Fantasy games, and I realized that I just don't care for Final Fantasy VII. It wasn't a game I liked, not the original at least, but the remake takes care of a lot of the problems. The characters are significantly more likable, the gameplay is significantly better, the visuals are stunning in comparison to what we got on the PlayStation 1. I know that's like saying, hey, this fresh cheesesteak is delicious and the one that's been left on the counter for 6 months is gross. Yeah, we know. Of course it looks better, Jay, but it looks incredible. It is movie quality. I really enjoy this one. I like the combat changes. I actually think it's a lot more fun to play now, and I think it is a logical inclusion. If you have an affinity for Final Fantasy and you like the Final Fantasy universe and you want to keep collecting it and you want to build something that's going to give you an RPG element on the PlayStation 4 and you're just starting to collect for it, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a great place to begin. One of my absolute favorite games on the PlayStation 4 was Ratchet and Clank. I'm a huge fan of the original series from the PS2 and the PS3, and getting the remake, which was loosely tied into the film, which I absolutely love, was a treat for me. First off, I love James Arnold Taylor as Ratchet. I think he does a spectacular job in the role in this game, and I think there's just so much done right in this game that kind of improves upon what the originals did. Now, this game is dirt cheap. You can get it complete in box for like $9 right now and brand new for like $16. It is an absolutely fantastic steal of a game, offering hours upon hours of playtime, giving you a nostalgic throwback to PS2 games, but with a nice modern update that is just going to be awesome to enjoy. I also suggest you pick up the film and check that one out. It is going to be a nice tie-in. They're definitely tied into each other, and there's going to be plot points that develop in the film and in the game that are going to tie into each other that you're just going to enjoy. It's going to add so much more to it. Definitely pick up Ratchet & Clank. It is dirt cheap, and it is the picture-perfect epitome of what platforming 3D adventure should be from a PlayStation studio. Insomniac absolutely kills it on this game. Next up, we are going with Street Fighter V Championship Edition. Now, brand new, this game will cost you about $30, but complete in box, it's only going to be about $25. So this is getting in right under that under $25 wire.
Okay, yeah, now real quick, I did say you should get the Championship Edition, and the one I'm showing here, yeah, that is clearly the vanilla version of Street Fighter V, but there is a reason for that. When I initially bought this, I bought the vanilla version of Street Fighter V, and I purchased the Champion Edition upgrade digitally, but honestly, I think it is going to be a more valuable experience for you to just pick up the single-disc version of Champion Edition. Now, back to the video.
And you're going to be able to find the cheaper versions as well. Street Fighter V Arcade is about $20, and Street Fighter V, just the vanilla version, is about $10. But I'm suggesting Street Fighter V Champion Edition for a reason. There is going to be 40 characters that you can play in the game. 34 different stages, 200 costumes. It's basically giving you all of the DLC, with the exception of the stuff from the Fighting Chance costumes, brand collaborations, and Capcom Pro Tour DLC. Every game mode and balance update has been added into the game to make this the most complete Street Fighter V experience yet. It is a beautiful game. It is stunning to look at and behold, and it plays so well. It is classic Street Fighter action and one of the best fighting games on the console. You must pick this one up. If you enjoy anything about fighting games and you are a Street Fighter aficionado, Street Fighter V Champion Edition is a must-buy and a perfect building block to add to your PlayStation 4 collection.
One of my all-time favorite consoles, the PS4, has an absolute metric ton of games on it that are just fantastic and worth picking up, but the 5 I gave you today that I showed off, I think are ones that you need to have in your collection because they just kind of lay the groundwork for what an incredible console the PS4 is. SpiderMan is my all-time favorite PS4 game. It is just one of the most relaxing and wonderful games I've ever played, but the other 4 on the list as well are fantastic. Now, there is definitely some stuff conspicuous by its absence here. God of War is not on here, Horizon Zero Dawn's missing, Tetris Effect isn't on here, nothing for VR at all is on here, but rest assured there will be future editions of this series where we are looking strictly at VR games as well as other foundational titles that you should add to your PS4 collection. Hey, huge thank you to my patrons you're seeing on screen right now. They keep the lights on in the place. They let me be able to pick up stuff to add to the collection to bring you guys coverage. If you dig what I do here, consider becoming a monthly Patreon sponsor, or at the very least, check out our merch link as well as all of our links to social media in the pinned comment down below. Until next time, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me today. Until next time, remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.